Before we say anything else,
Before we tell you what this episode is about,
we're going to start with something that you should already know. Names,
faces,
lives that we've discussed before and should never be forgotten.
Ramona Wilson,
Emily Pike,
Tamara Keefness,
Ashley Loring, Heavy Runner,
Ida Joanne Beard,
Molly Miller,
Renelle Rose Bennett,
Hannah Harris,
Savannah LaFontaine Graywind.
You should know every one of those names and every one of those faces.
And if you don't, you need to ask yourself why.
Because this isn't about one story.
It's not even about a handful of cases.
It's about how many names we haven't said yet and how many names we never will.
It's about how many faces we haven't seen and no one ever will.
It's about how many families were left to search in silence.
May 5th represents what happens when people refuse to accept silence and invisibility.
Because Indigenous people were disappearing, were being taken, were being murdered.
And the world wasn't paying attention.
This is missing and murdered Indigenous women, girls, people, and relatives.
And we don't do silence here. Welcome back, Darkness Debaters. Mandy and Brandy back in the studio. We've been gone from the studio for a while. We recorded a bunch of content, took some time off to research and follow some cases, but we're back today.
Yes. We are back. So yeah, we took some time off, but we've still been busy. And we're ready to get back and get into some stuff.
Absolutely. So today is a special episode. This is not our normal Sunday release or a Wednesday MMIW. This is actually, this will be released on Tuesday, I believe, is May 5th. The day after, May the 4th be with you. And May 5th is very special. It is very, very special. Can you tell us what May 5th is, Brandy?
Yes, I can. May the 5th is what's termed as National Day of Awareness for Missing and Murdered Native Women and Girls. And it was a day that was created in honor of one of our MMIW stories that we covered, Miss Hannah Harris. It actually was her actual birthday, and that day was created in honor of her to bring awareness of the crisis. Essentially, we're in a crisis.
Yeah.
Because Indigenous women, girls, they're 10 times more likely for something to happen to them than other demographic groups. It's important that we acknowledge that there's something going on there. And a lot of these cases, nobody really knows about, nobody really talks about. They don't make national headlines. And that's sad and it's heartbreaking. And that's why we started our MMIW series, because you have this large, very large group of people, and they're either missing, they don't know what's happened to them, or something has happened to them and there are cold cases and we don't know who's responsible.
Right.
You have this large group of people Indigenous people, and nobody's talking. Nobody's bringing awareness. And they created this day in Hannah Harris's honor, and it's a day to wear red. I wrote down some things that, as people who aren't Native, who may not know how to support the cause or what to do on this day, because I'm not Native and I don't know what to do, but I want to support this group of people that are in a crisis. Their loved ones are missing and there's no answers, and it's hard to get through to authorities, and some cases get authorities to pay attention. So here's some ways that on today, May the 5th, that you can support this cause. Number one is wear red. Wear red and take a selfie. Post it on social media and put a hashtag, MMIW, or National Day of Awareness. Something like that to bring awareness. And then, your friends, your acquaintances, your family on your social media will see that, and then it spreads more awareness. So wear red, take a selfie, and post it on social media. Another thing you can do is, if there happens to be any kind of events in your area today, maybe this weekend or anytime this month even, attend an event, attend a prayer vigil, attend a whatever kind of it, just a gathering. Sometimes people might have just a gathering to support these people who, I'm sure it means everything to them for people to come out and to support. So yes, attend an event if you're able to. Another thing you could do is look into your specific area, because this is nationwide. There's cases in Canada. There's even international cases of missing Indigenous women and girls. Look into your area. See who in your area is on the MMIW list. Post those people for your neighbors, your friends, your family to see. I'm willing to bet that a lot of people that come across that post will probably not know the people that you post. They probably will say, I've never heard of that case. And awareness is everything. So sharing and spreading awareness, it never hurts. It might trigger that one piece of information that brings somebody home or brings somebody an answer. And another thing you can do, if maybe you know someone that's affected by this, maybe there's a person in your community that was affected by this MMIW crisis. Maybe get with local authorities or council or whoever you need to speak with, and maybe create a memorial for people to come and reflect on, and remember that person, not necessarily what happened to them, but for the life they lived. Because at the end of the day, all of these are daughters or sisters or mothers. Sometimes they're people that lived lives and they were cut short. And if you're able and you know somebody, and just create a memorial for them, something the community can look upon and really reflect on. And my last thing is, and I've already touched on this before, and this is why we started MMIW Wednesday, is just be proactive and spreading the word. Spreading the word that there is a crisis. Indigenous women and girls are a lot more likely to go missing or be murdered than any other group. And we need to spread awareness, and something needs to change.
That's absolutely right. There's also a ton, and I will put as many as I can find. They'll be in the description. They'll probably be running along up here on the screen. There's a ton of Facebook groups, pages. If you type in MMIW, which is missing and murdered Indigenous women, MMIWG, missing and murdered Indigenous women and girls, MMIP, which is missing and murdered Indigenous people, MMIR, which is missing and murdered Indigenous relatives, you will find pages and pages and pages. And I want to touch on, Brandy said, create a memorial, share them, look and see if there's somebody from your own community, and share them. And I want to encourage anybody else with a platform. When you're sharing these stories, don't just share what happened to them. Don't just say, this person murdered this way, unsolved case, move on. Tell who they are. If you see ours, we try to tell the story. Sometimes we'll tell it firsthand, and we start with my name is. And we don't do that because we're trying to do something weird. We do that because that was a person whose voice was stolen. Like we say, that wasn't her voice, that was mine, because her voice was stolen. These are things, we try to imagine maybe what that last week was like, what that last day was like, because those are important things. But it's also important to remember that they lived, that they had friends, they had, hard days at work where they complained and vented to everybody about it, And I have seen in some of the groups, Indigenous people will be thankful that their loved one's story is being shared. But sometimes they'll question, you'll see a story about them, and the first thing they say is, this person struggled with drugs and alcohol. And whether it's true or not, do we really gotta start with that? If you have to say it, if you don't have to say it, why say it at all? If you have to say it because it's part of the story, then can we put it down a little bit lower? Because when you start a story with, this person struggled with alcohol and drugs, there are a lot of people that stop listening. They're like, oh, a drunk, a drug addict, I don't care. Unfortunately, that's the world we live in. So
a lot of times that brings on victim blaming, and
right.
We've said it before and we'll say it again. We don't victim blame here.
Right, exactly. I don't care what struggles they had as far as that goes. Lots of people do, and it still doesn't excuse what happened. It doesn't mean they deserved it. And I want to share too, I think it was about 2023, there was a trend on TikTok, the red handprint. Lots of creators doing the red handprint for clicks and views. There was kind of a thing about it. Some Indigenous creators were like, hey, could you guys not do that for clicks and views, because it's actually important to us. So be aware of that too. In our videos, we share a picture of it, and it's not because we don't want to do it or anything like that. We want to be respectful. And some Indigenous people say, you know what, put it on your face. We want it spread. Some Indigenous people are offended sometimes, and it is because of the way it's been used in the past. And people doing it just, don't put the red handprint on your face and then twerk. Okay? Don't do that. It's not cute. It's not funny. It's not fun. It's not cool. Don't make you sexy. That's not what that symbol is. So don't do it. If you want to spread awareness, do it respectfully. You can share a picture of it. You can share a picture of someone else wearing it, an Indigenous person wearing it and say, hey, you guys, do y'all know what the red handprint represents? And then once you're done with that video, go make your twerk video. But don't do it with this, because that cheapens this entire movement when people do things like that. It makes it not even serious. And this couldn't be more serious. So from darkness debaters to influencers everywhere, respect the red handprint. If you're going to mention it, if you're going to show it, if you're going to wear it as a non-Indigenous person, respect it. It doesn't belong to you. You have a responsibility, if you mention it, to mention it respectfully. So please do. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
Thank you for allowing us. I agree wholeheartedly. I agree.
I did see, so in 2017, and I had to take notes on this because there's no way I'm going to keep all these dates. 2017, there was a U.S. Senate resolution introduced to officially recognize May 5th as the National Day of Awareness for Missing and Murdered Indigenous Women and Girls. It was led by Montana senators and backed by hundreds of tribal and advocacy organizations.
Yes.
The date was, of course, chosen in honor of Hannah Harris and the broader crisis. 2018 was the first national observance. There were events, marches, and vigils began happening all across the country. And in 2019, there was expansion and legislative momentum. 2019 is when we saw Savannah's Act, which goes side by side with the Not Invisible Act. These two acts are they're national. The Not Invisible Act passed in 2020. It was signed into law October 2020. It was the first federal law that focused specifically on missing and murdered Indigenous people across all ages and genders. It's designed to fix communication breakdowns between tribal law enforcement, federal agencies, and local police. Because one of the biggest problems these cases have is people not knowing whose jurisdiction it is.
Yes.
And then none of them want to take responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
They all want to point the finger and say, well, it should have been you guys. Well, no, it should have been y'all. Well, no, it's not us. It should have been you guys. And the whole time, there is a person missing who needs help, and a family begging for answers while authorities are arguing about who's responsible. This federal law says you all are. You should be communicating, working together. I didn't even know about that act. It does seem like it's fairly new. I mean, it's only 6 years old. So it's probably some places it's still being implemented. But the core idea is just to build a system that talks to each other and says, okay, we're working on this. You guys work on that. Do y'all have this information? There's so much people's names being misspelled in the database, in the federal database. And it doesn't seem like that would be that big of a deal, but it really is.
It is, yes.
So that was a couple of things that I found.
I found, if anyone who is listening to this and they may know any information on an MMIW case and they want to give tips, I found the number you can contact, and it's the U.S. BIA, which is the Bureau of Indian Affairs, the MMU unit, MMU, missing and murdered unit. Their number is 1-833-560-2065, or you can go on their website, which is BIA.gov, and I'm sure you can locate where you can give those tips if you know something, see something, say something. And I'm sure in a lot of these cases, there are lots of people out there that may know something, and it may seem the littlest, most trivial thing, but it might be that one thing that breaks it wide open. So that is what I found in my research. Just want to make that aware for people here in the U.S.
Yeah, don't ever think, well, I only know this one little bitty thing and it's not going to help anybody. Tell them anyway. Mm-hmm. If you know about some blue shoes, tell them, I don't know anything except blue shoes. Just tell them everything.
Or even maybe, that was 10, 20 years ago. They probably don't care about that anymore, why do I need to come forward 20 years later? I guarantee you that there's probably a dedicated detective there that's still looking for answers, and there's definitely probably a family that has still sleepless nights wondering what happened to their loved one, and no matter how long it's been, they want to know the information. So
yeah,
whether it's small, whether it's been too long, maybe you were afraid at the time. There's ways for people to get protection when they come forward. It's really no excuse. And I know what they say, snitches get stitches, but when it comes to somebody's loved one missing, or somebody's loved one that's been taken from this earth, I don't really think that term applies anymore.
No.
We're not down at the corner store sneaking a candy bar.
Yeah.
That's
more like that's more like if you're in a group of people and you all decide to steal some candy together. Don't go home and tell on the other people like you weren't in the middle of it.
Right.
But in a situation like this, it's not snitching.
No.
It's bringing peace to a family who deserves it. So, and there is a difference there. You're not a snitch for bringing peace to a family, ever. And in some of these cases, what's sad is these people don't just disappear one time. And that may sound weird. What do you mean? Like, they get kidnapped repeatedly? They disappear from their community first, and then from everywhere. And if you don't know about this crisis, if you don't know this is going on, if you don't know the names that we mentioned, you might know Emily Pike, you might know Molly Miller, because those have been in the news recently. But the rest of them, if you don't know who Ashley Loring Heavy Runner is, it's designed for you to not know, because there's no coverage about it. These national media companies that could run a little blurb about them, at least ignore it. Demand better from your media. Demand that instead of them telling you about a coffee shop rivalry or something inconsequential like that, that they mention things like this for Indigenous people. Why aren't you guys, especially if you find out in your area that there's a tribe that has been afflicted by this and you didn't know about it? Ask your media why. Ask your local television stations, why aren't y'all running stuff about this? If they're not, some do. There are some that are very good about it, and they try to be as vocal as possible. But just ask them, why aren't y'all running this in newspapers? Why isn't stuff like this being shared on the New York Post? I don't know. I don't subscribe to them. I see an article here and there, but I can't remember ever seeing one. I'm sure they have posted about it before, but I don't ever see it. And if I'm not seeing it, other people aren't seeing it. When we started this, we had heard about the red handprint. We knew what MMIW was. We had no idea the scope that we were about to be looking at. And we cover a lot of cold cases. So we're used to not having all the information. But these cases here, you guys, it's not just like there's big chunks of information missing. It's like there's 2 pictures online and half of a description. And, 2 or 3 possible dates that they went missing. And one article will give you one, it'll say this is what happened, and you'll find another article that gives a completely different story. The consistency is not even there. And then if you get on some of these MMIW and MMIP pages, they'll have a family member and they're talking about it and saying, this person got it wrong, this person got it wrong, this person got it wrong, this person got it wrong. Tell the real story and what happened. And that's also where you see a lot of that when the stories do get shared. They start with, he battled drugs and alcohol. And the families are like, why did you even have to say that? I saw one last night. We will be covering him. And I wrote his name down, and I cannot read his writing. I'm very sorry. But he was murdered in, I believe, the 80s. No idea what happened to him. He was a very accomplished artist. And his niece was talking about him. And the article that she shared about him started, he battled drugs and alcohol, or he battled alcohol. He was an accomplished artist. His paintings were amazing and well known.
Yeah.
So why did we start with he battled alcohol? For clicks and views. With that.
Yeah.
Because these are real people. Your clicks and views, okay, fine. But these are real people, so quit that. So, do you have anything else for us, Brandy?
I do not. I just want to, again, remind everybody, May 5th, MMIW Day. Wear red today. Post a selfie. Put it on social media. Put that hashtag with it. And let's spread some awareness. A lot more people need to be aware of this crisis.
Absolutely do. We're recording before May 5th. We're recording a few days before, which is why we're not
wearing red. But we will be wearing red.
We will be wearing red. And we will probably post on the social medias. We will show our red off on May 5th. And we will stand in solidarity with our Indigenous brothers and sisters, families. So join us. And like I say again, look up MMIP, MMIW, MMIWG, MMIWR. I'm sorry, MMIR, MMIP. My mouth starts running too fast sometimes.
It's a lot. It's a lot, but yes,
it is a lot. Mm-hmm. And I know, and it is a lot. It's like, okay, well, how do I remember? Just look up MMIW. If you can't remember anything else, look up MMIW, and that will take you to everywhere else you need to go. So MMIW takes you where you need to go, or type in red handprint. What is the red handprint? And you will have unlimited resources about what it is, how it originated, who's using it, all the things. You'll probably find some Facebook groups that way too. and join them and just read stories. Just share. If that's all, if you really don't know what else to do, you don't want to join events, you don't want to do anything else we've mentioned, just share the stories. Join one of those groups, look at it once in a while, share the stories you see. You know, every share is a lot of help. Every share is that person being remembered, and they deserve that. So that's all I got. Everybody take care of yourselves, take care of each other.
Yes.
If you see something, say something.
And keep shining light where darkness dwells.
Yep. Bye, everybody.
Bye.